Hi everyone, it's Amanda. I'm going to show you today how to fix a mistake in your brioche knitting. See here, this happens often. You've kind of strangled a stitch. You've got this bar going across the front of a column and don't know what to do. Well, guess what? It isn't locked in there forever. We can fix that. So what's happened is that the yarn over buddy, all the stitches in brioche have yarn over buddies. The buddy that's meant to go with this stitch just fell to the front and didn't get picked up and knit together with the stitch. And let's pretend we didn't notice it until all these rows later. So the way to fix it is we're actually going to treat it, we're going to make a drop stitch on purpose. We're going to drop the column that's directly above the mistake, and we're going to pull out all of these stitches, and then we're going to hook them back up with a crochet hook to fix it. So this is what we do. When I'm fixing a drop stitch or making a drop stitch on purpose to fix a mistake that's a few rows back, I first of all like to keep my environment calm and controlled. So I have my things here on the table. I like to just lay it down in front of me. I am not going to do this quickly or frantically. I'm going to keep my head cool because this is a little unnerving at first. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull out our stitches on purpose. I'm going to hold it up close so you can see really well. And as I go, I'm just going to do it one stitch at a time to keep it controlled. Now this is wool, so it's behaving really nicely for me already. But if you actually use your crochet hook for this part, if I just tuck my crochet hook underneath both sides of that blue stitch that I want to pull out and gently pull it to release it, I find that's the nicest way to undo my brioche because I'm doing it a stitch at a time. It's not going crazy here. Okay. And then every now and then, well, often with wool, your yarn will catch and make little fluffs. So if anytime your stitches start to kind of fluff together and get caught, then this allows you to break the fluffs right away so it doesn't become a big tangled mess. Okay, so right here you can see that I have gotten to the point where I have released that trapped red stitch. So now I'm ready to start fixing it again because the mistake I wanted to get rid of is gone. So if you've ever picked up a drop stitch just in plain knitting, you'll know that it's easier to do it from the knit side of the fabric. So I have the knit side facing me. If this had been a purl column, I would have turned it over first and then fixed it from its knit side. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to first, with my crochet hook that's about the same size as my knitting needles, not too big, not too small, I'm just going to go in that last stitch from the front, straight from the front to the back. Okay, we're not going to twist it, it's nice and open down there. Okay, and next, we're going to look at all of these yarn over buddies. Okay, so in this case, my stitches are light blue and my yarn overs are red. Now in brioche, every stitch gets a buddy, only one buddy, exactly one buddy. It has to have one, but it's not allowed to have more than that. Okay, so if you remember that, it makes it easier to find out what goes where. So my stitches are blue, my buddies are red. With my crochet hook, I want to pull my next blue stitch through this blue stitch. But I don't want to pull any buddies through. If I were to do that, then I would have a stitch that would be, let's look, two colors. And that's not what we're going for here. So let me undo that again. Alright, so this is the little pattern. If you remember this rhyme, you should be able to pick up drop stitches in brioche. Okay. So first you find all the buddies, and if you look, there's always one right directly against your stitch. So that's the first one. So you go over that one with your crochet hook, and then under two red buddies, and then I'm at a blue strand. I grab my blue stitch, and I just pull it through. And because we set up our crochet hook in the right order of buddies first, all I have to do is pull it straight through and through the stitch, and then I'm done. And everything falls into place behind. Okay, so over one buddy, and then under two. Oh, and look, there's the next stitch already waiting for us. Grab the stitch and pull it through. Sorry, I made a rhyme. I know it's very tacky, but hopefully it'll help you remember. Okay, so over one buddy, under two, grab the stitch, there it is, and pull it through. Okay, sometimes the buddies don't get all the way unraveled and they're just there waiting for you, in which case grab them. It's so much easier. All right, so here we are again, over one, under two, grab the stitch, and pull it through. Okay, over one, under two. Oh, but there aren't two to go under, so that's good. That means we're almost at the top. But there is still a stitch there, so grab the stitch and pull it through. So at this point, I don't have any more buddies left. I just have the one that goes with the stitch at the base of my hook there. So I know this stitch can just go back up on the needle with its right leg in front. Do you see that? The loop there. We put the right side of the loop in front of the needle so it's not twisted. And then I'm ready to keep working in my pattern across the row. Now a good way to double check as well is to just make sure that yes, it's the right color of stitch and it's not supposed to have a buddy, and it's not because I can see the red stitch beside it is the one with the buddies this time. So I can carry on with the brioche. And it looks fantastic. Another thing you need to double check is just flip it over and look at the back and make sure it looks okay on the back as well, because sometimes things get lost back there. Okay, but there you go. If you found that helpful, knowing how to pick up a drop stitch in brioche, let me know. Like the video and consider maybe subscribing to my channel, Anitika. Thanks, bye.